I greet all of you on this, the eve of the Feast of the Exaltation of the Holy Cross. When we think about it, and when we look at the cross historically, or rather crucifixion historically, we see that it was a very horrible way to die. The Romans even used it to crucify not only enemies, but even generals. If a general lost a war, the emperor could have him crucified. When anyone would walk by on the way into a city and see a row of crosses with people crucified, it was certainly a wake-up call. You'd better behave, you'd better obey. So the fact that they chose to crucify Jesus Christ, and that the Pharisees actually demanded that he be put to death, was ultimately designed for humiliation, because it was such a terrible way, an agonizing way to meet one's death. Within the Orthodox Church, we are quite aware of the transformational power of Christ's resurrection from the dead. That the Lord died on a cross, the most probably scandalized way to be put to death. Anyone who died on a cross deserved it. And it was a bloody affair. And yet, by his holy resurrection, our Lord transformed the image of the cross forever. Within Orthodoxy, our iconographic depictions of the crucifixion rarely have blood. And there's a reason for it. Because it isn't really, the emphasis isn't really on the blood sacrifice as much as it is on the fact that Christ's resurrection from the dead destroyed the power of death eternally. And Jesus, when he rose from the dead, transformed the image of the cross to a beautiful thing. The cross of Christ is our salvation. It is a symbol of what it means to be a Christian, to die to oneself. We are instructed by our Lord to take up our cross and follow him, which means if we're going through difficult times or illnesses, that we see that as our cross and we ask God to join our suffering to that of the Lord. So on this feast of the cross, of the exaltation of the cross, I greet all of you with the joy of the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who forever, by his resurrection, changed the image of the cross from something vile and used against enemies to a vehicle by which we were all changed permanently by being joined to his resurrection. His death on the cross and his resurrection ultimately becomes our resurrection. So I greet all of you with the joy of Christ's resurrection as we celebrate the Feast of the Exaltation of the Holy Cross. God bless you.